Hi, everybody. Chris Litton from Body Basics. Another episode of Fitbit with a Bostonian and a Brit. Here with my co-host Marnie Wellman and Marge Firash. And today, episode 3, we're going to talk about body weight homeostasis and whether it's fact or fiction. So it should be a very illuminating and exciting conversation. Yes?
Maybe.
So first off, Marnie, do you believe someone can reach a state of body weight homeostasis or not?
I believe some people can, but I don't believe one size fits all because we're all different. No, I don't actually.
You know what, I think, hold on, before we even go, like what is homeostasis? So homeostasis, like the basic definition is it's a point at which the body can find this like middle ground. So based on that, what's that, Marge? What would you say to that?
I was just saying, it's natural state, more or less.
Yeah, it's kind of a natural state, exactly.
Yeah, without doing too much. That's
well, hold on a minute. I did some research on this.
Okay, good.
Rich is coming in.
Oh, God.
That's
Overachiever, Marnie.
That's great. It's a set point which relies on concept of genetic preset weight range controlled by biological signals. Now, without homeostasis, we'd all be dead because it controls everything. Blood pressure, temperature, everything.
Yeah.
So from what I've read and from what I believe, homeostasis, weight control is a theory. It's not proven. Go.
Thank you for sharing.
Marge, what about you?
That kind of homeostasis, I think you can't reach naturally, because if it's predetermined by genetics, then you're screwed. I mean, because like I had a horrible genetic predisposition to high blood pressure and all that. No matter what we did in the gym, I couldn't get my cholesterol to be, at reasonable numbers. So I had to take medication because my genes were in the wrong place. But as far as weight goes, I think you can work really hard to get to a weight that's in your head, a number, okay, whatever that number is. You work and get to that number. And then once you establish that that number is the number you want to be, within certain parameters, I think you can pretty well maintain it. Now, whether that's a homeostasis or it's a mental place where you want to be, and that's how you maintain it. For me, at least, that's what I've done. I've got to a place where I have a number. I like that number. It's a comfortable number for me mentally and physically. And so I work within that range. I play with it. And it's gotten to the point now where I don't have to play with it very much. I mean, it's
okay,
just
so what I hear you say, Marnie, more scientifically, is that the concept of homeostasis as it relates to body weight is theory. And Marge, what I hear you saying is that you found a place where you feel comfortable weight-wise and composition-wise and so on, and you found a lifestyle and strategies around that keep you in that range without too much additional work at this point.
Exactly. It's become a way of life now. I have to think about it very little at this point. I did it first, but now it's just become, this is how you live, how I live, and I can stay in that comfort zone without too much work.
So to Marnie, I 100% agree. I also think that it's theory. I don't believe that you can, without any work, because Marge is even talking about work. Without any work, you can find this homeostasis in body weight. I don't agree with that at all.
Either.
The other thing that I've read is that the homeostasis changes as you age. You have a set body weight, which body tries to hold on to. If you diet, as we all know, you probably will gain that weight back because your body wants you to be that way. However, homeostasis changes and it tends to go up as you age because of different factors. Environment, your lifestyle changes, the way you eat changes. So the homeostasis set point goes up as you age.
So there, I would say
I was going to disagree.
Yeah, I would say that I disagree with that as well, just in that everything you said, I agree. Lifestyle change and so on, all those things. However, those are all things that we can have control over.
I was going to say, we can fight that tooth and nail.
We can influence those changes. We can choose to make those changes. Go ahead, Marge. Go ahead.
I was going to say, people always say to me, as you go through menopause, women, you're supposed to gain 10 pounds and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, because traditionally that's what happened, because we were told that your metabolism slows down as you get older. You need blah, 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 more calories. That's been like, as you get older, you lose your balance. Well, sure you do, if you don't do things to keep your balance. You and I work on our balance very hard, 2, 3, 4 times a week. So all those things will happen if you don't fight it tooth and nail. We work very hard so I eat less because my metabolism won't slow down, because I do things to keep my metabolism higher. I do a lot of cardio. I do a lot of things to keep my metabolism not to slow down. I eat foods that will raise my metabolism. So, I mean, yes, it will automatically slow down if you don't do anything to counteract it. Absolutely. But you don't
I agree.
have to,
Like if age is left to, and
Its
this is
own
the
device.
experience I've seen with clients, if age is left to its own natural design with no influence on
Right.
the factors of lifestyle, activity, nutrition, and so forth, environment, then I 100% agree. There's going to be this change, but it's because we're losing X amount of muscle annually,
right.
which affects our metabolic activity level, our engine, if you will. And in so doing, then we're not going to expend as much energy. And so if we follow that path, and now we're 10 years past, we've lost 0.4%-ish lean mass per year for 10 years, it's really going to start having an impact on the body's ability to overcome
Chris,
natural
let me
aging
put
cycle.
that. One tendency that women have, and I guess I shouldn't just talk about women because so many
guys
of
too.
us are for men, but I don't think it applies to, well, I know it doesn't apply to men, but when you reach menopause, your estrogen levels drop. You gain a certain amount of fat because fat produces estrogen. So that is one reason why women tend to gain weight around their stomachs. You need to carry on producing an amount of estrogen. So that's
I agree. And then you can offset that ratio to a degree with lean muscle development.
That's what I've done.
So then you can actually balance your hormone levels and stay leaner through that process.
To shoot this woman, she just keeps shrugging.
Because I work
It's
my
so easy for those that find it easy, and it's so hard for those that find it hard.
bus. I never said it was easy. I work really, really
I
hard.
know you do. I know. And I work hard too, and look at me, all to the killer whale, washed up on the beach.
Well, I think, Marnie, let's speak to that. Because you represent, another part of the population as well. So both of you are uniquely different in that regard.
Right.
You, Marnie, have tried many different times over the years to boost your intensity to where you could start developing more lean mass. And unfortunately, whether your back or your foot or your neck, your shoulders,
my side, my ear, my little finger,
bigger fat
right.
number.
So that's something to take into consideration is then there are going to be physical limits that are going to reduce your ability to put out that effort that would give you that lean mass. So we've got to be sensitive to that too. So.
Right.
Instead of doing that, the other half of the equation is eating healthily. And
Absolutely.
I do it extremely healthily. We very rarely eat out. We don't eat fast food. I cook everything from scratch, but it still piles on.
Oh, piles on. I mean, fair enough to you, like you've gained 3 pounds in the last 6 months.
Yeah, but since I moved to Tucson 7.5 years ago, I've gained about 30 pounds.
So tying that to body weight homeostasis, what do you think, Like how does it relate? How does what your experience relate?
I think because of the heat, I'm not as active. I'm not socially as active. And I've got older. I've got older. My energy levels are lower. I can't do what Marsh does. I see her on the treadmill, on the elliptical, with sweat pouring off her face. I mean, I really admire her for that.
Marge, come to the screen. You're only showing your forehead.
I was resting. See, I'm older. I'm older. I was resting.
Keeping it on topic relating to body weight homeostasis, I think we all collectively agree that it is theory. It's not a fact. There is consideration towards the aging process, hormonally, physical activity, environmental, nutritional patterns, stress was another one you just brought up, Marge. It all can have a significant influence on whether we are staying at a particular weight or not. I'll speak for myself. I know that I've been 190 pounds-ish, 2 or 3 either way, for over 20 years at this point.
As long as I've known you, almost.
Yeah, over 20 years. Now, prior, I've been as high as 235, but I was choosing to be there, and I had a 17.5-inch neck. My neck's now 14 inches. So it's a different body and a different lifestyle. And so speaking in line with what we're talking about, because my activity level changed, my nutrition changed to support my new activity level, stressors continue to ebb and flow, but basic lifestyle supports this 190-ish range. And just recently, what I've noticed is during this COVID time, Chris makes the most amazing banana bread, and I asked her to stop making it a few weeks ago because I noticed that in the week that she had made the banana bread, I was always up 3 pounds by the end of the week. And it was strictly, that was the only real thing that was being added was the banana bread.
Okay, Chris, let's address that. 1 pound of weight is 3,500 calories.
Correct.
You didn't eat 11,000 extra calories of banana bread.
No, but I definitely had several thousand. And then what I probably did is, even though I just said I didn't add anything else, it probably created more of an allowance that I even wasn't aware of extra things in my day throughout the course of the week. And then it maybe wasn't that week that I gained the 3 pounds. It was the fact that I had started that banana bread on another loaf the week prior.
Right.
Now it's catching up. So no, I agree. It's not, that's a lot of calories. I understand. But what I would say from that is those disruptions to lifestyle influence, now that we all agree it's not body weight homeostasis, as far as naturally holding to it, there is work involved. I'd say those ripples that come into our life that are out of the norm, for me it was the banana bread, they throw us off course. And they can do that very quickly. So